Good day everyone and welcome back to NS2HD. In this video I want to give you a basic Marine Commander tutorial. I've made tutorial videos in the past that deal with commanding, but they are all out of date now, and that is the very nature of making tutorials for the game while it is still in beta. It changes so fast that any tutorial I make will be rapidly outdated, but I'm going to have a go now anyway. And I'm going to do it from the Marine side, and it is going to well and truly be the basics. Now, one important thing to note as I turn on cheeks, just to make this easier for myself, one important thing to note while watching this is I am not a pro NS2 player, I'm definitely not a pro NS1 player, and my word is not gospel, and so I encourage you to please leave comments below this video, post comments on my profile, and tell me what you think and what could be improved and what's right and what's not right. I think I'm an intermediate player, but basically I'm just going to have a go and try and impart whatever knowledge I have to those of you who might be a little scared of running over here and jumping into this big box here, which is the command station where the big login sign is. And when you run up to it, pressing E will log you into that station, and you will get the top-down view of yourself and the rest of the map. So this is Tram, I'm doing this on Tram, this is the Marine start area, and the things you start with when you start a game are a command station, an infantry portal, and the power node in your base. So, as I said, and an extractor, very important, the extractor down here in the bottom left corner of this base. Now, as I said, this is the absolute basics, so many of you will already know this, but those of you who don't, I hope it gives you the confidence to jump in and have a go. I know I used to be scared of jumping into the command station, especially in NS1. I'm no longer scared, and it's basically because I got a handle on the basics. So, the most important basics are, this is not StarCraft 2, this is not Warcraft 3, this is not any other RTS you've played before. It is nothing like them. There are really important similarities, but there is a huge difference, and I'll jump out of the command station to illustrate it. Right now, I'm a soldier. Call me, I don't know, call me a Marine. StarCraft 2, I'm a Marine. I've got my rifle, I'm running around, blah blah blah. And now I'm the commander. And I've got a top-down view on that Marine. And I wish I was playing in a multiplayer game to illustrate it, but I'm not. But the point I'm trying to make is, your soldiers are real people. In a traditional RTS, you grab a soldier, you give them a right-click move order, and they move. In Natural Selection 2, your soldiers are real people, and you have to be very, very conscious of that. Why am I opening with that? Because I think the most important thing when commanding is to create a relationship with your troops. So, when I say that, I mean quite literally, you need to be on the microphone or on text chat saying, "Hi everyone, how you doing? Alright, let's do this. My plan is this. We're going to do that." And to that end, let's see a little plan for the start of a Tram game. So, the first thing that you will probably want to do is build a Mac. So what I just did there was I clicked on my command station, I then clicked on Create Mac, and I've got enough energy to create a couple. Down here, where you can see it says 29 out of 200, and it will tick up to 30 out of 200 there. That is the energy available at the command station. Energy is used to activate abilities on buildings, and the ability for the command station is to create a Mac. Mac being Mobile Automated Constructor, and it is your worker unit. Remember that because this isn't a traditional RTS, your soldiers, those real people playing the game, are also your workers. They also perform work tasks. But the Mac is basically the unit that the commander can use to give the definitive order. I can right-click this Mac, and he'll go where I tell him to go. There's no question there. So you do have that to fall back on. You don't always have to have your soldiers do everything, but it is very, very important to remember that they are your workers, and you need them to do most things. So the first thing I do after building that Mac is drop an armory. And that can be done by clicking on the command station, clicking on the build tab over here, and then clicking armory, which will place, well, placement is one of those tricky things about NS2. It's not like in a traditional RTS where you might wall off or something like that, and it's not like maybe a softer RTS where you might just base build and build a pretty base. It's a combination of the two. The armory I will usually place hidden away somewhere. So maybe this is one of my favorite spots when I'm playing on Tram up here, and the reason for that is it's hard for lurks, which are the mobile flying alien unit that can shoot gas. It's hard for them to shoot spore clouds onto the armory if it's located in a corner like this. So you can see the only place where they're going to be able to shoot those spores are from up here, maybe across to here, or from this door, which I can close, across to here, or from here to here. Whereas if I put it in the middle of the room, they can shoot it from anywhere. So placing the armory is quite critical, and I would normally place it there. There are better spots, and no doubt many people will comment on this video and tell me what they reckon the best spots are. So dropping an armory first after making that Mac, and even the other way around, dropping the armory first and then making the Mac, is utterly crucial. And what you'll find your soldiers will do, your Marines, is they'll probably run up to this armory and they'll probably assist the Mac in building it. And voila, we have a constructed armory. I'll jump back in the command station because this of course is a commander tutorial and not a being a soldier tutorial. So that armory will then be built. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, one of the basics of commanding is that when you place that armory, and I'll place another one just to demonstrate it. So this is a big no-no, placing an armory in the middle of the room, but I'm just doing it to demonstrate. Is what I did was I grabbed the Mac by selecting it. You can either drag a selection box over it or you can just click on it. And then I right-clicked the armory building. So like many RTS games, right-click is contextual. If I right-click on empty space, it will take the Mac to empty space. If I right-click on a building, it will repair or build that building. So very similar to many other RTSs in that sense. When you select a soldier, a Marine, and give that Marine an order, so I could select a Marine there and give him an order there, the Marine will receive a waypoint. So that's the critical difference between non-player characters like the Mac, which is your builder unit, and an actual Marine, who will receive a waypoint instead of being sent over there, because as I keep saying over and over again, they are real people. So if I give a Marine an order, so let's pretend this Mac is a Marine, I'll probably say, whoever it is, Bob, I need you to go to Tram Hub. And I'll give him the order, but at the same time I'll be telling him I need him to go to Tram Hub. So I'll be combining that human touch with just giving a cold-hearted right-click order. And that's more likely to get your Marines to do what you need to do. Right, now you've got an armory, you've got an infantry portal, you've got a command station, we've got an extractor. Now this is where the avenues start to open up. So if we were playing this game in real time, it'd probably be after about 30 seconds. You can decide, what are you going to do next? What are you going to push out? What are you going to research? Now if you go to the armory, you'll find there are some upgrades available already. We can get weapons level 1, armor level 1, we can get shotguns. That's a couple of things I could choose to do. I could also choose to go over in here into Marine Expansion and drop a command station in here, and I'll talk more about doing that in a moment. Or I could go down here and across to Observation, which is where I could drop an extractor to get more resources. Now you'll find when you start the game you won't have enough resources to do everything. So talking about resources now, I've been building an armory with my team resources. This is the one up here. I've got 65 of it now. You can see there's 3 links together indicating it's team resources. The one on the left is individual resources, and I won't worry about that just yet. I'm only talking about team resources. The other number here is the number of extractors you have available. So when you start the game, you won't have enough team resources to do everything. You'll have to choose. Maybe you want to get the command station, maybe you want to get the extractor. Me, I'll actually tend to do something, a combination of a couple of different things. The first thing I'll do is ask a Marine to, and I'm just going to open this door to let the Mac out, because in Build 170 Macs will get stuck going through doors. Go through that door, Mac. There we go. So, what was I saying? I've completely lost myself. Anyway, this is my strategy. I'll ask a couple of Marines to go to Observation. I'll say, guys, I need you to secure Observation. I need you to hang there for about 30 seconds. I'm going to bring a Mac over, and I'm going to build an extractor in there. And I'll select Build, and then Extractor. Note that you don't need a Mac to do that. And I'm just going to recycle that and demonstrate what I mean. If I had no Mac selected, say I've got this power node selected, or I had the command station selected, I can still select the Build tab and drop an extractor. The difference is that there'll be no Mac there. Where did that Mac go? Where is that Mac going? Macs are being a bit funny in Build 170. Ooh, cool, a new selection. Cool, new selection decal. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Excuse me. That extractor can be built by those Marines. So I would say to those Marines who had asked to go to Observation and given waypoints to Observation, could you please build that extractor? And they'd probably say, yeah, sure, we'll build that extractor. And I might also bring the Mac in to assist them. For now, of course, because this is single player, you're just going to see a Mac building that extractor. The next thing I'll do after doing that is research shotguns. Now, there'll be lots of arguments in the comments below about whether this is a good thing to do. Shotguns cost 15 team resources. So by now, if we were playing in real time, I would probably be at 0 resources. But the great thing is, now, if I just jump out of the command station for a second, your Marines, your soldiers on the ground, can now buy shotguns. Cost 20 individual resources, and these things kill skulks. And skulks are the alien units that the Marines will most often be facing early in the game. So it really gives your soldiers that edge that they need to win the battles more often than they lose them. And I think that's very valuable, and that's what I'll usually do. But it's by no means the only strategy you can use. There are heaps of different strategies, and because I've got so much team resources, because I've been playing so long now, and this is so far from real time, I'm going to demonstrate what else you could do. I'm going to bring a Mac in over to Marine Expansion, and I'm going to drop a command station. Now there's two reasons why you drop a second command station. The first is to open up the tech tree. And by tech tree I mean, down here you can see things like Advanced Armory, cost 15 team resources, not available. Or over here, grenade launchers, flamethrowers, jetpacks, all of that not available. Down here, command facility, not available. That's all because I haven't opened up the tech tree yet. And to open up the tech tree I need to build a second command station. Building the second command station opens up the possibility of getting a command facility, and that provides you with the ability to buy an advanced armory. All of that costs a huge amount of team resources. You need 15 plus, how much does the command station cost? 20. So 50 team resources to open up the advanced armory and start researching advanced weapons. So that's a huge commitment, and that's why I choose to buy the shotguns first, because I want my Marines to be able to defend my extractors so I can build up the resources so that I can get into the tech tree and start getting those advanced weapons. I find if you push into Marine expansion too fast, you don't get your Marines shotguns or weapon upgrades or anything, you'll find that they can't defend it and you will lose it, and you will not have enough resources because you don't have 2 extractors and you're only running off 1. Remember, the marginal benefit of buying that extractor at the start of the game compared to midway through the game after building a command facility first is you double your resources because you've only got 1 to start and you can get 2 so early on in the game. So is that command facility finished? Sorry, command station. I'm going to turn on dev mode here to make this really fast. I can get a command facility now, 15 team resources. That researches very quickly because I've activated dev mode, and now I can click on my armory and get an advanced armory. Once I've got that advanced armory, all sorts of upgrades have opened up. I can get grenade launchers, or I can get a weapons module which will lead to flamethrowers, all very, very powerful weapons that can seriously assist your Marines in taking out the alien threat. So at this point, a couple of other things to mention are, as you move through the game and you're deciding what tech to research and what research paths to follow and where to push out, where to hold, where to defend, don't forget to upgrade your extractors. Costs 5 team resources, it is well worth it. I'm going to research that now, and what that does is it increases the individual resource count it increases the rate at which the extractor produces individual resources, which is essential for your Marines to be able to buy new weapons because they need more individual resources. Another one to really pay attention to is your level 1 armor and level 1 weapons upgrades. As you can see, I don't have the team resources to do it. They are quite expensive, and they get more expensive as you go up the tree. I'd recommend having level 1 and level 2 before you get the advanced armory. Sorry, maybe either level 1 weapons or level 1 armor before going to the advanced armory. Then once you have the advanced armory, going to maybe level 2 of one of them, and then only going to level 3 after you have a weapons module and flamethrowers research. But that's just my opinion, and please comment in the comments below. Note how fast the Mac moves with dev mode on. He is a Speedy Gonzalez. That's just my opinion. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I am going to stop it here. This was just a basic overview, and I've left out so much. There's so much to talk about, and I am just doing this off the cuff. So I didn't plan this. It's just me just rambling on about it. Another really important thing to worry about, though, is in the mid-game you'll probably want another infantry portal, because one infantry portal is quite slow at reinforcing your team if many of them are dead. So maybe build a second infantry portal in your base. Note that you can only build it within range of the command station, within that circle you just saw, and that will double the rate at which your Marines can reinforce your base, which is very important if you lose quite a few at once. Other things, well, power nodes. I mean, I'm assuming you know a little bit about NS2 and you know what they do. They provide power to the room. If they go down, all these buildings will shut down and the lights will go off. So keep those repaired by right-clicking them if they are damaged with a Mac. That is all for now, everyone. As I said, it's very basic, very off the cuff, not too detailed, because this is the beta and all of this is going to be outdated within weeks as new patches come off. But I hope it has helped some of you who might have had no idea about commanding get a general idea about what is going on from the top-down view. Thanks for watching, everyone, and look out in future for more NS2HD videos.